roll call. We have Commissioner Palacios, precinct 4. H.E. Jaime, H.E. Cuellar, precinct 1. And myself, we do have a quorum. So, do we have anybody on open forum?
No, sir.
First item on the agenda is to approve the consent agenda.
There's no concerns on it.
So move.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Go ahead, Judge.
¿Dónde va? Number one.
Number 4.
4.
All right, item 4.
Judge, Commissioners, I'd like to go and move to the addendum that was issued out prior to going through item 4, if the board will consider that. May I proceed with the
Yes.
addendum? Okay. Based on the addendum, item 1, request rescission of Hidalgo County Drainage List Number 1's agenda item 39-810, approved at Board of Directors meeting on 7/23/13 in connection with the purchase of real property located in Precinct 4, a.k.a. Dickerson and Aguilar Ponds from Hidalgo County, as described in supporting documents attached herein. This is at the request of legal counsel to try to clear some issues up, so we're requesting for y'all to rescind action, and then we do have it back on our regular agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On item 4, I believe the tax office should be coming in a little bit, so we could skip item 4 and move on to item 5, Judge?
So move.
Second.
Those,
No, I'm sorry. We're wanting to move to item 5. We're going to skip item 4
Oh,
okay,
until the tax office shows up.
go ahead, sir.
Item 5, requesting approval of final negotiated contract with Edwards Abstract and Title Company for Title Company Services as it relates to the J09 project approved for negotiations by the Hidalgo County Drainage Number 1 Board of Directors on June 25th, 2013. Basically, their costs are standard costs, so we just needed to get the documentation back into our office.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, requesting approval of final negotiated contract with Valley Land Title and Company for title company services relates to J09 project. Approved negotiations by the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 Board of Directors, June 25, 2013. Similar, is just receiving the documentation.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And as requested by the board, we did split the project up to try to get both title companies working on the project. Item C, requesting approval of work authorization number 7 in the amount of $10,342.02 to L&G Engineering for surveying services relates to the Fayetteville Drainage Improvement Project. This is a work authorization to L&G to provide the construction stakes to be required for precinct number 4 to begin the excavation on the project.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 6, consideration and approval of interlocal cooperative agreement between Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 concerning the sale of Aguilar Pond and Dickerson Pond, real property to Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. I believe I'll divert to legal if there's any specific question on that documentation.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, approval of closing documents for the purchase of Aguilar and Dickerson Pond tracts of real property and authority for chairman of the board of directors to execute same. Again, I defer to legal counsel on any specific question on those documents.
Everything in order?
Everything's in order.
So move.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We have the tax office here on item 4. As required by section 3110B of the property tax code, approval of annual report for all property taxes collected for the year ending June 30th, 2013. I believe our tax collector is here to present.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, on the county drainage, if you look on tab number 1, we have the annual tax report for July 1st, 2012 through June 30th of 2013. And under tax collections, the base amount was $19,730,962.86. Under penalty and interest, $662,909.53. Attorney fees, $244,453.86 for a total of $20,638,326.25. Total revenue disbursed to the drainage district was $20,437,627.28. Total disbursed overall was the $20,638,326.25. If you please turn to tab number 2. Under tab number 2, under current collections to date, for 2011, 2012, we had $17,715,591.10. For 2012, 2013, $18,440,637.14, for a total increase of $725,046.04. Last year's percentage of collections was 92.90. This year's 93.03, an increase of 0.13%. Okay, the outstanding, 6.97%. Under tab number 2, we have a 5-year comparison chart. And for 2008, the percentage was 89.70, 2009, 90.43, 2010, 91.56, 2011, 92.90, and for 2012, 93.03. So it's been increasing. Under tab number 3, the collections, for the delinquent collections, we had for 2011, 2012, $1,413,133.81. Delinquent collections for this year, 2012,
Paul,
2013.
do you have all these exhibits?
Yes.
Do you have copies of them?
I believe that you probably had the annual report submitted to you.
All right, well, none of us have it, that's why we're,
You don't? Oh, okay. Well, then let me, I think they were submitted to every commissioner's office and also the county judges, so.
all right.
So I'll go ahead and just continue reading, okay? Under tab number 4 is just reports relating back to this report. Tab number 5 is the same, all the information relating back to this presentation, so. I'll make sure that I get you those reports. I know that they were delivered, so I'll find out here in a little bit.
All right,
So what's your bottom line?
Excuse me?
What's your impression of the report?
Oh, the impression of the report is great. Like I said, current collections from last year, we had $17,715,591. For this year, we collected $18,440,000. So that's an increase of $725,000 to the Hidalgo County Drainage District, so
Good.
I think it's great, so.
that doesn't, or does this include that bond issue that was,
Well, this definitely includes the MNO and INS on this report for the year of 2000.
all right.
Okay, and I believe, we have to approve it.
The bond collection will be effective next year, Judge, because we just sold the bonds this April, so these revenues are based on the previous bond that was sold.
Right.
All right.
But again, it is showing a positive increase on our tax collections, both for current tax and delinquent taxes, which is always positive. During these hard times, we always feel that there's going to be a dip, but it's been maintaining, and in not just maintaining, it's increasing up. So I think they're doing a good job on our tax collection, both
Thank you.
current and delinquent on. So.
Thank you. No, definitely, I'd like to thank my staff, all our staff that they do the collections throughout the 6 offices that we have, so I'm very honored and proud of them too, and also thank the taxpayers for being responsible and bringing in the money to the drainage district.
How do the appraised values compare last year, this year?
I believe, and I'm not sure right now, it's about 27 billion. I didn't bring that copy with me because I can't kind of come in a hurry, but if you're talking about when the county, it went from 27 billion 300 to about 27 billion 921, so that's in the county. The drainage,
Collections out.
I'll go ahead and get you a copy of that, so I can give it to you, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, we do not have any item for a closed session unless the board wishes to entertain one.
Move to adjourn?
Check.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you very much, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir.
Check.
9:26.
All right, we got about a 10-minute wait before we begin our meeting.
Hello, Judge.
Good morning.
I'm looking at the numbers.
We want to welcome you this morning to this regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court for today, July 30th, 2013. Present are Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1, Palacios, Precinct 2, Palacios, Precinct 4, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Lord.
Good morning.
Please bless everybody in this room. Please
I apologize,
bless.
Virginia.
That's okay. He doesn't mind, I'm sure. I do ask for you to help us through this day. Give us wisdom. Help us to make good decisions and realize that we're here for everybody. And we pray for our leaders, that they always will make good decisions. And bless our country, bless the people who have fought for this country, our veterans and our troops right now. Please bless our nation, bless our families, bless our county, bless our state. We need your help, Lord. And please send rain if it's possible. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Amen. Amen.
All right. We've had a special request from our district attorney that we proceed to executive session at this time to consider an item that needs to be looked at before we begin our meeting. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to proceed to executive session pursuant to Rule 55107-1 and 072. Need a second? Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We'll be in executive session for a short while. Please, we're going to reconvene in open session. Please, can I have your attention? All right, under item 4, our consent agenda.
Judge, I would like to ask that a consent agenda item 5D be pulled for discussion.
Move for approval of consent agenda excluding 5D.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries. What's the issue in 5 then?
On 5D, the report contains some errors, and we're in the process of making corrections. So I would like to take no action and bring it back. I think the department is going to bring it back next week.
For the record, identify the item.
District Attorney's Office checks monthly fees report for June 2013.
All right. At this time, we're going to be taking some items out of order. Item number 9A, our district attorney has an issue he wanted to address.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. We're requesting approval to process payment of the following invoice as a claim with authority for the county treasurer to issue payment after review, auditing, and processing procedures are completed by the county auditor. The auditor had some concerns. We're ready to discuss them as to how to handle these issues in the future.
If there's no questions, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Judge, may I address the Commissioner's Court?
Yes, sir.
On this bill that you just authorized payment, Mr. Wade has to go to buy a service so that computers can be, he can use computers to communicate with computers to solve computer problems. That invoice that should have been paid in its regular course of business is bought online that you can download, like nowadays. You can buy software and all sorts of things to make and facilitate the use of your computer systems. And for some ungodly reason, the auditor failed to want to pay this bill where he had been paying this bill for several years. And I don't think we need to, as elected officials, to come here almost begging for you to pay a claim that is a legitimate claim where the auditor does not have a legitimate contest on why that bill shouldn't be paid. And for that, I am deeply concerned at his attitude and what he's doing. If it's legitimate, you pay it in the regular course of business. Nobody needs to come here several months, weeks later and make a claim for you to authorize the payment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Judge, the issue with the bill was that the invoice is in the name of the individual. That was the concern that I had, but talked to the office, and they're going to make sure the next time that the purchase is made, it's in the name of the county, but we're going to pay the bill.
Well, thank you, sir. On a lighter note, still keeping in mind our policy of acknowledging our elected officials, we have an item that's somewhat related to Mr. Guerra, our district attorney, item 6B, recognition of Aaron Guerra.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Karina Cardoso with the Public Affairs Office. I'm actually here on behalf of the Environmental Compliance Division, and we are here to recognize Ms. Aaron Guerra. She was an intern at the Environmental Compliance Division, and I'd like to introduce her with Mr. Martin Ramirez, who's the director. And yes, she is the daughter of the District Attorney, Mr. René Guerra, so he's here to acknowledge and be present for this award of the certificate. Aaron started working with the county's Environmental Compliance Department on January 15th, 2013. She has a civil engineering degree from the University of Texas at Austin. She came to the department for the purpose of gaining practical experience in the environmental compliance field, and the Department of Environmental Compliance was the one that received the most benefit from her time with the department. Aaron worked on a variety of projects with skill and enthusiasm, which included air quality, solid waste, and water quality. And I personally know she was very instrumental in assisting with the webpage for the division. The staff that she worked with say that she will be missed not only for her work, but also for her enthusiasm and her spirit. And we all, on behalf of Hidalgo County and the Environmental Compliance Division, we wish Ms. Aaron Guerra well as she begins her career with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, and we thank her for all her hard work as an unpaid volunteer at the Environmental Compliance Division. So at this point, we'd like to present her with her certificate. Ms. Aaron? And the certificate reads, the County of Hidalgo presents the Certificate of Participation to Ms. Aaron Guerra for successful completion of an internship with the Hidalgo County Environmental Compliance Division. presented July 30th, 2013, signed by Hidalgo County Judge Ramon Garcia.
Congratulations, Ms. Guerra.
Thank you for honoring me with this certificate of participation. I'd like to thank the county for the opportunity to work in the Office of Environmental Compliance. I learned a lot from Martin Ramirez. He was an excellent supervisor and taught me a lot for what I'm going to need to know to move on to work with the state. So I think there's definitely a lot of opportunities for engineers like me to work with the county, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. So thank you very much.
We can have a group picture.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Judge, I would request item 16A is taken out of order.
16.
16A. Karina and Raúl. Address.
Judge, Commissioners, Commissioner Palacio is asking that if the court will indulge us and take item 16A out of order, please. It's on page 5 of the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, the item is approval of resolution of appreciation to Mr. Jared James, monitor reporter, for his excellent coverage and reporting of Hidalgo County government. Karina has developed a resolution. Mr. Jared has covered the county for several years now, and I've known him since I was in the budget office, and we've done a lot of stories on the county, and we continue to work with him in the precinct. Do you mind?
Yes, it's my honor to actually present this resolution to someone I've worked closely with over the years. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Jared's editor from the Monitor, Mr. Carlos Sanchez. He's in the audience, and he's here joining us for today. If you'd like to join us up here. And if I may read the resolution. Resolution in honor of Jared James. Whereas in 2008, Hidalgo County officials and employees were graced with the presence of a new visitor to the Hidalgo County Commissioner's courtroom, a quiet, unassuming, bespectacled young man who sat in the back of the courtroom with his laptop propped on his lap, furiously typing away at the keyboard, trying to capture, verbatim it seemed, all the minute details, elaborate deliberations, and even lively exchanges from the proceedings of the court. And whereas little did we know that a short 5 years later, this young, fresh-faced reporter would end up being one of the Monitor's most prolific writers in his time in the Rio Grande Valley, having penned hundreds of news articles about Hidalgo County government, with a talented way with words and an ability to tackle complicated and often controversial issues, and breaking them down into meaningful pieces of relevant information for Hidalgo County residents. And whereas a native of Sydney, Texas, Jared Matthew James has covered Hidalgo County government, Edinburgh, the Delta area, and legislative issues affecting the Rio Grande Valley for the Monitor since 2008. Prior to joining the Monitor, James worked on the city desk of the Advocate in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and interned at the Tulsa World. He graduated cum laude from Oklahoma State University in 2006. And whereas in his time at the Monitor, James has comprehensively covered issues that affect every resident in the county, from healthcare and transportation to the environment and legal affairs. James' work has garnered several statewide awards from the Associated Press managing editors, including placing in the Star Reporter of the Year category in 2011 and Star Investigative Report in 2010, along with the top honor from the Texas Bar Association for a series surrounding the costs of Hidalgo County's Indigent Defense Program. Most recently, James drove the conversation surrounding the events leading to and the coming impact that the merger of the Rio Grande Valley's 2 public universities and its first medical school will have on the region's transformation. And whereas throughout his career, James' tireless devotion to unbiased and fair reporting on important issues affecting our community provided a service that helped foster an informed local electorate. James' reporting merits respect because it is true, factual, and fair, and his professionalism, integrity, and upstanding reputation have earned him the utmost respect of Hidalgo County officials and employees. And whereas James is leaving his career as a reporter to pursue a law degree and leaves his beat replacement at the Monitor big shoes to fill, county officials and employees alike are certain that James will be successful in his new profession and sincerely wish him the best as he begins this new chapter in his life. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Jared Matthew James for his diligent and dedicated devotion to the field of journalism and for his exceptional coverage of Hidalgo County government during his tenure. Approve this 30th day of July 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously.
I was kind of sitting here listening to Karina and just kind of wondering who that guy she was just describing was. So, you know, honestly, it's been a remarkable experience. The one thing I'd say is that I'm not irreplaceable. The Monitor's been in this business for more than 100 years. I've been here for 5. So, obviously, you guys can find someone, Carlos, who I'm, more than optimistic about kind of how he's going to lead this newspaper. They'll find someone that can replace me. So the one thing I would say is that it's just been an extremely rewarding experience, something that I've enjoyed every minute of. One of the things I wrote about in my law school personal statement was about how newspapers, at their best, they're a conversation. So, and what that comes down to, I think, more than anything else, is a dialogue. And I've been fortunate to have a dialogue with a remarkable group of people that have really shaped my life. So that includes you guys, it includes, a number of people in this audience, and really a number of people that I've met over the last 5 years. So for that, I really can't thank you guys enough. So.
Where are you headed?
Going to law school. Let's hope it turns out well.
And what university?
University of Texas, which, for you guys that know me, I'm a huge Oklahoma State Cowboy, so I think the one thing I've decided is that no matter what color orange I'm wearing, I'm always wearing the right one. So,
you have a unique talent. Your writing skills are exemplary, and you have the ability to take a complex set of facts and make them and write them in such a way that people can understand what's going on.
I guess
and
that's
you do it in a fair and objective manner, and that's why people think highly of you. And good luck to you, sir.
I appreciate that, Judge. Thanks so much.
What happened to Oklahoma State?
Judge, I know there are some other elected officials in the audience that may want to join us in the picture with Jared.
Sure.
Would like to join us?
But I don't like most of these guys, so. Put that out there. I'm just kidding.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thanks for everything. Be in touch.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1 I will need to get it signed.
And by the way, that gentleman that was with Jared is Mr. Carlos Sanchez. He's the new editor there at the Monitor, and you're going to be reading a lot about what he writes. And Mr. Sanchez, welcome, sir.
Judge, if possible, can we take up item 20C1, A and B?
Mike, we're going to get to you soon.
What was that?
20C1, A and B?
Oh, under open session?
Yes, sir. Precinct 4.
I'll go ahead and read the item, Judge. I know it's under purchasing. Item C1A is consideration and approval of interlocal cooperative agreement between Hidalgo County and Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 concerning the sale of Aguilar Pond and Dickerson Pond, real property of Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1.
Judge, a couple of comments on that particular line item, agenda item. The agreement contains blanks for the effective date and the appraisal values. And also, there's no documentation on the formal review and approval by legal counsel.
First of all, Mr. Frasco, the reason the effective date is blank is because that date will be filled in when it's passed, which will be today.
Okay.
As far as the blanks, when that document was sent over last week, we did not have the appraised values. The current one, I've had Monica scan into the system. It has the appraised values, and I believe that's it.
You've been copied on the full fair market value appraisal. In addition to that, I did send off yesterday the two figures that were most important, which was the final line, the final bottom line on the appraisals. I also had sent that to Ms. Chavez, but now you have the entire booklet. It was emailed this morning, and I have asked that you be copied also.
Okay.
As to the approval, they drew up the interlocal, so I did not get a formal approval since they are the drafters.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item B, Judge, is approval of closing documents for sale of Aguilar and Dickerson Pond tracts of real property from the county and authority for the county judge to execute same.
Move for approval.
No, the closing documents were not attached. I guess they will be attached at a later date.
In addition to what you
Closing documents
got.
are never attached in their local agreement.
Correct, and he made that statement. I sent it to Ms. Chavez yesterday. It was addressed to...
Motion and a second for approval. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. That takes care of it?
That takes care of it. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Let's move back now to item 6A.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Item 6A. is recognition of the Hidalgo County Housing Authority on receiving the 2013 National Merit Award in Residence and Client Services. We have today Mr. Mike Lopez, the Director of the Housing. Mike?
I'm going to present on this as well. Today we're honoring the Housing Authority for receiving the 2013 National Award of Merit in Resident Client Services. Representing the Hidalgo County Housing Authority are members of the project team, and I'd like them to ask and join us at the podium. We have Mr. Mike Lopez, Executive Director, Teresa Villa, who's a HCV Section 8 Manager, Elizabeth Saldivar, Public Housing FSS Coordinator, Christina Walker, HCV Section 8 FSS Coordinator, Mary Castillo, Memorial Apartments Manager, and Carla Cáceres, Northside Apartments Manager. So after researching upcoming program changes with STAR and STAR Plus health insurance programs in 2012, the Housing Authority saw a necessity for community awareness, and a plan was put into motion to promote and meet with county residents and notify them of this change. The Housing Authority held 3 informational resident fairs to help educate and inform residents and families on the health insurance options available to them. This program was submitted for a 2013 National Merit Award by the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials, NARO, which recognizes outstanding achievement in housing and community development programs. And earlier this month, the county judge received a letter that the Hidalgo County Housing Authority was chosen as a winner of the prestigious award under the category of Program Innovation, Resident and Client Services. So on behalf of Hidalgo County and the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, we would like to announce and present this recognition to the Hidalgo County Housing Authority.
Judge,
Yes.
who are the board members? Represent.
Mr. Lopez, now's the time to start bragging about what you've done. But Commissioner Palacios would like for you to state into the record who your board members are.
Can I present the certificate and then
Oh, yes,
have them
go
say a few
ahead.
words? So the National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials presents this 2013 National Award of Merit in Resident and Client Services to the Hidalgo County Housing Authority for the Procuring Partnerships with State Health Agencies program. And it's signed by Betsy Martins, who's a NARO president, and Saul Ramirez, who's a CEO, National Association of Housing and Redevelopment Officials. Congratulations, Mr. Lopez.
Yes, thank you, Judge, Commissioners. On the board, we have our chairman is Eloy Avila, he's from Dana. And we have Sergio Diaz, who's our tenant board member from Westlaco. Pile Leo, former mayor of La Jolla. And Greg Garcia from Edinburgh, previous school board member from Edinburgh. That is our, and Bob Trevino from from San Juan, actually, and that is our board.
All right, sir. Thank you. Well,
Yes, sir.
congratulations on this award.
Well, thank you,
And
and
your members of your team.
thank you, sir, and it was really our first national award. There was a competition amongst, I don't recall the number, 400 or 500 entries, and we were selected. I'm real proud of our agency and real proud of the staff and the work they put in it. And I'd like to also mention Mr. Oscar Ramirez. He's a former board member. He represented the tenants during the development of the program, and we appreciate his input and his coordination with the tenants. It's been real successful, and we're going to continue it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Dale, Mike. All right, we're going to take another item out of order, item number 12, our Health Department.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. I'm here under item 12A, discussion and action limited, including but not limited to health care funding district expenditures. Item under 1A1, and we're going to move on, correction, we're going to move on to item 2, just to discuss consideration and approval to transfer $4,401,974 to the County of Hidalgo Medicaid Supplement Program escrow account for indigent care expenditures. This action, sir, there's a documentation being passed out to you all that clearly indicates, thank you, Perla, that clearly indicates we have the tax office and all of our partners, tax office, budget office, and county treasurer's office have worked diligently along with the auditors to make sure that we've collected the funding tax that was approved 2 weeks ago. That we've collected all except one hospital hasn't submitted, but they would try to get that in by this afternoon, by noon today, close the business today. But otherwise, we will meet the $4 million $401,974, and of that. So with that in mind, we reviewed with the county auditor's office that pending that last payment, that everything should be in place to be certified. But that's subject to his certification and his review. But hopefully by the close of business today, everything will be in place. Move for approval.
Second.
Eddie, in this 4.401, along with the approval that you had last week, would make up the 10,515,300.
Correct, sir. That would be the $10,535,300, because it includes the $20,000 for the fees, administrative fees is included within there, sir. Yes, sir.
But we only transferring the 10,515,300.
Correct,
to the
sir.
state.
Correct, sir. Of course, subject to your review and approval.
All right, we have a motion and a second for approval. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Also, item B is approval of certification of revenues as certified by county auditor for demonstration year 2 IGT transfer for the $10,515,300, subject to Mr. Flacio's certification once all that is in.
Move for approval. At this point, I have not certified those monies, Judge. I'm awaiting the
last
being
deposit.
transferred. So once the money is transferred, I think the money needs to be at the state by Friday, so we're going to wait another day or two until we get all the funds so we
Correct,
can
sir.
transfer.
Correct, sir. And then items...
Hold on, we got a motion and second.
I'm sorry.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries.
Also, sir, item C is approval of the 2013 appropriation of funds in dissemination year 2 intergovernmental transfer in the amount of $10,515,300 to fund uncompensated care, subject to, of course, Mr. Flacio's review.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge, I'd like to also, there was a question, information brought forth to Mr. Crane in regard to some information, There was a question you had, Mr. Crane, in regards to the procedures involving this. I think you were...
I didn't have any question.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was misinformed. Okay. So with your permission, sir, may I move on to item B1?
Go ahead, sir.
Discussion and action including but not limited to indigent health care program 1115 waiver. There is no action to be taken today, sir, unless there's questions. Item C, sir, this is under Health and Human Services, requesting approval of the following invoice to proceed as a claim with authority for county treasurer to issue check after auditing procedures are completed. This is Domingo's Auto Repair. We had one of our animal control trucks who had some damage done, needed some transmission work, and we needed to get it in and get service. This was...
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On this next item, sir, I need to acknowledge the hard work from Renan Ramirez's office and the auditor's office in regards to dealing with our telephone bills. This is approval to process the following telephone invoices as claims with authority for county treasurer to issue check after auditing procedures and completed by county auditor, as indicated here on this item, sir, totaling $2,410.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E, sir, is requesting approval of a memorandum of understanding with South Texas College. The purpose of the agreement is to have STC provide training to Hidalgo County Health and Human Services nursing staff, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Any questions or anything else, Judge, Commissioners, Mr. Auditor, Mr. Guerra, Mr.
Keep up
Crane?
the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Give it up.
All right. Let's move back and commence our regular agenda items. Let's begin with item number 6C, and I'll be coming back to open forum pretty quick.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. We're actually here again to recognize another organization that is associated with Hidalgo County. The item reads, recognition of the Hidalgo County Historical Commission on receiving the 2012 Distinguished Service Award by the Texas Historical Commission. I'd like to recognize members of the Hidalgo County Historical Commission. that are here with us today. We have Ms. Adela Ortega, who's the chairman. We have members Kathleen Fry, Harry Rakowski, Alex Moreno, Eddie Olivares, Maria Leach, and Valerie Ramirez. So the Hidalgo County Historical Commission received the Distinguished Service Award for Outstanding Preservation and Work Accomplished in the 2012 year of service. This award is issued by the Texas Historical Commission, and this award is awarded to counties who manage preservation programs that educate citizens and generate interest in the history and character of Texas. So at this time, we would like to present them with the official certificate that we received from the Texas Historical Commission. And the certificate reads, "The Texas Historical Commission presents this 2012 Distinguished Service Award to the Hidalgo County Historical Commission in recognition of its active and well-balanced preservation program," and it's signed by Mark Wolf, the Executive Director of the Texas Historical Commission. Ms. Ortega, on behalf of Commissioners Court, we'd like to present you with this certificate.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been an honor to receive this award. We have 88 commissions throughout the state of Texas, and I'm proud to say that Hidalgo County it has had a big effort on historic preservation in Hidalgo County. And we are actively working on markers. We have over 160 markers, and we're working on 12 right now. So the commission, which is behind me and more that couldn't attend today, we work every day as a volunteer. I reported, last year they were questioning, I reported 26,000 hours, volunteer hours, throughout the Hidalgo County that our commission puts out, and it takes that many. We have over 8 of our volunteers that work digitally every day, 8 hours a day, and it's like having 8 volunteer staff members in our commission. So it takes a lot of effort, a lot of our volunteer time to make this happen. So thank you for allowing me to be part of this commission.
Judge, Commissioners, I've known Adela for over 14 years. I worked with her at the City of Mission, and she's always done an impeccable job. I want to congratulate on your award. You've always done a great job.
Thank you. This year, we're focusing on endangered properties and sites, on properties that we might lose for demolition, and that's my focus this year, on preserving our endangered properties and sites.
Very good. Thank all of you for the work that you do on behalf of the county to recognize the historical, I think I can use the word treasures that we have here within us.
Thank you.
Eddie Olivares. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
The next item, Judge, is related. I'd like to introduce Ms. Adela Ortega for item 6D, approval of the Hidalgo County Historical Commission revised bylaws. Ms. Ortega?
Alex will be presenting.
Mr. Alex Moreno will be presenting.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. We've got proposed amended bylaws for the Hidalgo County Historical Commission. Those should have been distributed to you all. The basic change we're making is the commission has been very large, and we're cutting down the number so that there will be 5 persons appointed by each commissioner and by the county judge. It will be 25-person commission. And then we added a category so we'll be able to move people over to be members emeritus. They can continue to help us, but they can't vote. And then the other changes have to do with some typos and also cutting down the number of committees that we had. trying to modernize it, and we'd ask that you all approve those bylaws. And they've already been reviewed by Mr. Crane.
Move for approval?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carried.
Thank
You, Alex. Next item is open forum. Move up to item 5. First presenter is Virginia Townsend.
Good morning again. I'm here about 11A2, which is the tax office asking for help. I don't think I have to lecture you all a whole lot because I think you all understand what the needs are over there. They've given you information to look at and to realize what kind of shape they're in. And now not only do we have scofflaw for them to have to take care of, but now with this new health district, we've got another job for them to take care of. And I just think we're pushing too much stuff on them without giving them help. So I ask you please to just pass the 6 people that they need. I would appreciate it, and I'm sure we all would. Thank you very much.
Next presenter is Fern McClarty.
Good morning. This morning I thought God had talked back to Virginia there for a moment. I was ready. Whew. I have 2 things today. You have one 20A2 water fountains. I know that there are 115 different departments that are wanting water, and I think there's 163 total dispensers that were going to be put out. Do we not have water fountains throughout the county? I don't understand why so many need this, but I did get the backup on it. And like I say, there's 163. Some are hot and cold, some are tempered and cold, and some are just cold so they can have drinking water. So I don't understand why we spend so much on water when you can get water free from the fountain after we paid for the water coming into the different buildings. My second thing is this morning, I hope that you got your packet and are looking at the pictures. The pages are not numbered, but look at the lines, the long lines of the taxpayers, the citizens of Hidalgo County that are in line trying to get their card tags, either to pay for it, so RMA and the county can have more money. Y'all like to stick it on there, but yeah, you don't want to help the people that are standing there. I mean, there's long lines. They're taking off from work to go over there and having to stand anywhere from an hour to a couple hours or more. I went through the county departments and found that the main offices that bring in money to the county is the tax office. The second one is the county clerk. But if you look at the tax money that goes through the tax department, whether it be cars or whether property or whatever, they are coming in with the most. And when they ask for someone, most of the time in the past, they get told no. Just look at the figures. This department needs help. And if we, with, like Virginia said, the scofflaw and the health department, the hospital coming in, that they're going to have to do that money and things, you keep putting more and more on these departments, and it puts, makes the lines longer and slower. So we're just asking that you will look into this. They're asking for 6. Obviously, I think they need more right now. And we need the office opened up in McAllen to take some of the pressure off, because several of these pictures are from Edinburgh. And I'm sure the people are from McAllen and everywhere, and we need them to be able to take the pressure off the people so they can get back to work instead of, because once a month, each month, there's different ones that are having to get their car tags. So we're just asking you to look at those pictures. Look at them and think if that were you having to stand in line, leaving your offices and your work to go over there to get a car tag. And you think, well, we can mail it in. Well, the people that take care of the mailing are also working in these lines. And I know that we need to figure out how we can make it faster for the people. Thank you.
Next presenter is Opal Billman.
Good morning. My name is Opal Billman. I inherited land when I was 13 years old. It was left to me in my father's estate. My land remained in my father's estate for 50 years. Texas state law passed Joe Billman's estate to his 3 adult children. When Joe died, the heirs of Joe Billman own the estate of Joe Billman. That's Texas law. It is the intention of the 275th District Court to have our land abandoned, making it possible to be sold on the front steps of the courthouse. The court can abandon the divorce case because the court did nothing. But the court cannot abandon our community property for us. The court must release and return the community property to the owners, Opal and Joe Billman. The 275th District Court is controlling our community property in defiance of Texas state law. The law is when Joe died, the 275th District Court dismisses the divorce case. The 275th District Court cannot hold on to our community property and us forever. The law does not allow them to do that. The law states the case must be dismissed. Since the court cannot hold our community property, they appointed a beneficiary to do that for them. The court-appointed beneficiary bought nothing and paid nothing for it. Who signed our deeds over to the court-appointed beneficiary? He did. The beneficiary citing as the foundation of his claim our divorce case went through several courts at the courthouse and signed all of our community property over to himself in 2002. During my odyssey through the Hidalgo County Courthouse, I have been both amazed and appalled. But hey, maybe everybody could go for this philosophy. For example, you all probably have some very good stuff. I could write myself some deeds and pay to have them recorded, and all of your very good stuff would belong to me. Since I signed your property over to me, I know the deeds are signed. I signed them myself. The 275th District Court had the authority and the responsibility to award Joe and me a fair division of our community property in a divorce settlement. Since that did not happen, the court has the authority and the responsibility to return our community property to us, free me, and dismiss the case. Call it...
You have 1 minute left, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Call the case closed. Over the years, numerous petitions were filed requesting the 275th District Court examine and clarify this case. If the court could show the case to be legal, we would have had those explanations and examinations and clarifications years ago. This case defrauds the owners, Opal and Joe Billman, of their community property through the Hidalgo County Courthouse on the foundation of a divorce petition. Thank you very much for your time.
Next presenter is Chris Yanez and Nev Rivera.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge.
Morning, sir.
My name's Neff, this is Christianis. We're here on behalf of Abundant Life, our local church, and our youth ministry, Water Walkers. We're a student-led ministry where we believe God is calling us to change and, empower young people and restore values and morals. And last year we had the privilege to have our first annual youth conference where we gathered 2,000 people, and we just did that. We just gathered them to restore their values and morals and make better students and citizens for our community. But to share a little bit more depth of what happened last year, my friend Chris is going to share a little bit about that.
Yes, like my friend Neff was saying, by the grace of God, we had the privilege to have a little bit over 2,000 young people gathered at the McAllen Convention Center, united to just seek God's face and seek His will, in our lives. And the same thing, it goes around the same year. We'll be having our annual conference, the August 2nd and 3rd, and we'll be doing just that. We'll be gathering to seek God's face and see Him move in our generation, because we strongly believe that our young generation is not just a generation that is called the X generation, but a generation that has an identity completely in God's eyes and in God's will. So with that, we want to cordially invite you guys to take part in this, to share the platform with us, and the opening of this conference is going to be the 2nd and 3rd, which is Friday and Saturday, and we would be more than excited to pray for you guys, honor you guys, our authorities. So thank you so much. That's awesome.
I'd like to add also that I've been participating since last year, and I was there on a Friday. There was about 2,000 young men and young ladies there worshiping God. It was amazing, and I know that this year I believe they're expecting maybe about from 3,000 to 5,000. So I would like to invite you. I'm going to be there this Friday, and just remember that all these young kids are going to bring all that joy to the rest of the community. There's about over 12 pastors that get together. They bring all the young men and women from ladies to be there. So if you want to feel something exciting, something where I think the Lord has a presence there, I'd like to invite you. I'm going to be there. Like I said, I support them. And I want to thank them for what they're doing. These young people are there to admire because, you need to be there in order to feel it too. So on my behalf as the County Tax Assessor Collector Paul Villarreal, I'd like to invite you also. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to be requesting Commissioner Palacios take over. I'm going to be excusing myself. There's a press conference where a new company is going to be locating in the valley involved in medical research. We're very excited. And the press conference is going to be conducted in about 15 minutes. Commissioner?
Sure. I would like to ask Judge that you make it known that the rest of the court is taking care of business.
Yes, sir.
We're not going to have time to get the press conference.
Did I get it?
What's the next item? What's the next item?
Item 7.
Item 7,
7A.
Commissioner. And since we are pressed for time with respect to the use of the chambers, there's no action on 7A, 1, 2, no action on 7B, 1 through 3. Judge Commissioners, item 7C, as I stated last week, this is a notification to Commissioners Court that the County Clerk is in accordance with Local Government Code Section 81.003B, and the County Clerk may keep records of the Commissioners Court in electronic form. So again, it's a notification to the Commissioners Court that will be the official basis of documenting the Commissioners Court, the electronic version.
Okay.
Item D, I'm going to ask our delinquent tax attorneys, Mr. John David Franz, to come to the podium. This is presentation on delinquent tax collection report by Purdue, Brandon, Fielder, Collins, and Mott, LLP in association with, again, the law office of John David Franz.
Just a second. And then where's the slide for it? Where do they have it? What is it, play? How does it play? There you go.
Commissioner Palacios, members of the court, appreciate your time. We're here to present our annual report. I'd like to start out with just giving you some details on what we did over the last year from July 1st of 2012 through June 30th of 2013. As you know, we have a call center. We have 16 full-time bilingual employees making telephone calls at our McAllen office to folks who are behind in their taxes, and we made close to 80,000 phone calls during this reporting period, 78,492 to be exact, involving Hidalgo County accounts. We mailed out over 128,000 separate notices of delinquency. Just to give you a ballpark figure, there's about 160,000 tax accounts in Hidalgo County. At any given time, there's about 45 to 50,000 that are in a state of delinquency. So we send out 128,000 in behalf of the county during this reporting period. In addition, and we've talked about this a lot, one of the big challenges that both your tax office, Paul Villarreal staff, and we face are address changes. There are so many accounts that have bad addresses, so we take it upon ourselves to try, when we get returned mail, we search for new addresses, and since 2012, July 1st, we located 22,000 new addresses on accounts. What I'm proud of is that we're working with the county tax office, so we share this information with the tax office so that when they send out their tax statements for the current tax year, there's a greater likelihood that the taxpayer is going to get the statement with a corrected address. We have property inspectors. We have 3 full-time inspectors. They visited over 2,000 properties, knocked on doors, made contacts with people at locations to discuss resolution of tax claims. During this year, we entered into close to 1,000 payment agreements where people came in, gave a down payment, and structured a payment agreement with us. And this involved $1.283 million during this reporting period. We were involved, actually filed or made appearances as interveners in 2,947 lawsuits filed in Hidalgo County during the last fiscal year. And this litigation involved $10.8 million owing to the county. So we are being assertive in terms of collecting the taxes that you have entrusted us to collect. We had a couple of tax sales. These tax sales, as I've indicated to you before, these are the ones that are the first sale after a foreclosure at the courthouse. We had one in October of 2012 and another one in March of this year. We identified 725 properties for sale. 654 were removed because they were either paid or payment agreements were entered into, or bankruptcy was filed. Of the 71 properties that continued to sale, we entered into 21 agreements involving payment of $83,728.66. 30 properties were struck off. This means no one bid on the properties or the minimum amount necessary was not met, so the county became trustee for these 30 properties, which are valued at $116,114.24. When I say valued, that's what's owing to the county on these 30 properties. We will be posting these for resale in the months to come. 20 properties were sold, and the county received $63,831.95. We worked on 2 occasions with the Hidalgo County the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department, and we've established a real good working relationship with them for the tax resales. These are the properties that don't sell at the initial sale at the courthouse steps, and we had 2 sales, or 2 resales, I should say, in which a total of $585,771 was recovered for all taxing entities. I'd like you to take a look. We had great media coverage at each of those sales on Channel 5, and we provided in your report the link. This generated a lot of interest, and we now have a lot of people contacting us in advance of these sales, so we expect that in the September sale, we should have better success. The county on tax resales received, out of those 585,000 that was collected, the county share was $94,987. We had 174 new bankruptcies filed involving accounts where money was owed to Hidalgo County. These are pending in bankruptcy court. We have filed the necessary proofs of claims to state the county's interest in the amount of $271,159. Now, in terms of collections from the year prior to this year, what's happened? Well, first of all, in 2012, July 1st, 2012, Hidalgo County handed to us a little over $33 million to collect. This was 6.8% less than what was handed to us in 2011, which was over $36 million. Although there was close to $2.5 million less given to us to collect, we still managed to collect $10.6 million in delinquent taxes for this reporting period. You can see the prior year we collected 12.286. This year we collected 10.655 in spite of having a $2.5 million decrease in the roll. Now, if you look at total collections, when you add in the penalties and interest for this last reporting year, we turned into the county $14,706,615. And again, that was in light of a decrease in the total delinquency handed to us. I'll draw your attention to the bottom of this graph in red. You'll see what the beginning balance was 2 years ago for the 11-12 fiscal year versus the 12-13. That shows the 6.8% decrease. The collections dropped by 2.3%, something like that. But that is in large part due to having less to collect. So I will tell you, I've got a couple of charts here. I just wanted to point out, I know Mr. Verreal is going to give a report for the county, but I want to show you what's happened in the last 4 years, and I want to commend the tax office for working with us, because you can see from 2008 to 2011, your current collections are on the uprise. You've gone from 90% that was collected for current year collections to now close to 93%. I'm going to jump over and then come back. Look what's happened to what's turned over to us from 2008. You'll see we're getting less and less to collect each year. In 2008, the delinquency, the current year delinquency was $15.5 million as compared to 2011 where it dropped to 10.86. So because we're getting less to collect each year, look what's happening. It's getting paid during the current year. So you're not getting less dollars, you're just getting the dollars paid in the current year, which is where you want them paid. You want people to pay in the current year. So this partnership that we have with Hidalgo County and with your tax office, I think the results, you're starting to see the consistency. As we're more assertive on the delinquent tax collection, as we get those people who are 2-3 years behind in taxes to pay, they're catching up and they're paying their current as well. So we really appreciate your trust. And with me today, we've got attorneys Hiram Gutierrez, Thelma Banduc, Jonathan Gutierrez, and our manager Romeo Cantu. And I'm available to respond to any questions you may have on this tax report.
Any questions? Thank you, appreciate the information.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Looking forward to bigger and better things.
We're going to do our best.
Judge, the next time you have it on the agenda is for the sheriff's office. Richard, actually, it's invoices, and I think Marty's got... Marty, okay.
I'm going to recommend that the court take no action on A, O'Reilly's and AutoZone. That's because this morning, and we started researching this yesterday once we saw it on the agenda, O'Reilly's is going to qualify for payment. They have POs under the exemption that was granted back in March of this year for auto parts and repairs. AutoZone, we have found in their contract, they are a co-op vendor. These two items are cited as not being part of their co-op. However, there is a clause that when there are items that become supplemental and are needed and they do not list, they are permitted to list them, and they're obligated to give the same discount, and therefore we'll be sending that information to the auditor's office, and I think they can be resolved and paid during the normal course of processing. Item B on AT&T, this is the ongoing last of the bills that need to be paid through this method. We have exempted these, we're going to be exempting the service. We're just waiting for the fee schedules so that we can bring that to you as part of sole source declaration. So I do recommend approval of item B.
8B?
8B.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Item C, this is a situation that has now occurred where Dr. Pina has been paid historically by direct check, and therefore the $50,000 threshold was unknown to us until recently when that was brought to our attention. However, I have also researched and found that the services are mandated under Texas Administrative Code, and it's Title 37, Part 7, Chapter 217. Ms. Chavez and I have been having a conversation with this. She has looked it up, confirmed it. It is mandated. However, moving forward, we are going to be exempting the professional service in the very near future. Hopefully, if not next week, by the week after, the second week in August. But I believe under the authority, under the mandate that the Sheriff's Department has, these are necessary services. It is specific to new hires.
Are you going to get a contract?
We will have a contract. We're just waiting for the list. I had sent you and shared with you what I had asked from the sheriff's office as far as the physician, the psychologist is concerned, which is curriculum vitae, the proposed fee services, and the fees associated with that in order to exempt and bring a contract. So I do recommend approval, and I believe that the mandate under the Texas Administrative Code will permit the processing. We hope.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have second?
Second.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Commissioners, the next item is 11, as items 9 and 10 have been acted on. Item 11 is Ms. Cortez.
Commissioner, can we recess for 3 minutes? Just
Where's 10A, no one?
recess.
I'm going to have
Quick, 2 minutes.
to recess the meeting for 3 minutes.
No, we've already done 10. See?
Balde, next item.
Nothing on 10 a.m.
No, I'm sorry, I was, and I apologize to Mr. Villarreal. I was thinking of drainage district on that as soon as I saw the language. There is a report for the county side. Again, I apologize. There is a presentation by Mr. Villarreal on item 10.
Okay.
Go ahead, Paul.
Is that the, I think Fernie, or my assessing manager, is going to pass out the report.
Yeah, it's on now.
Morning. Thank you.
¿Tienes la presentation? Well, good morning. I'm here, I'm excited. This is my first year as the tax assessor collector, so I'm here to present the annual report from July the 1st, 2012 through June 30th of 2013. And I know the judge was telling somebody else earlier, this is the time when you brag about it, so this is my time with my staff and brag a little bit about what we do for the county tax office and how much we've collected. So I believe...
You got an extra report, Paul?
There's one right here.
Yes. Yeah, we have another one. Of course, you know, it's also here in PowerPoint. So the audience can see it. So, Fern, come over here. So I'll give the report and then you tap. Okay. As you can see, it's up here also on the monitors. The tax collections under the base amount was $159,403,305.01. Under penalty and interest, $5,800,160.15. Attorney fees of $2,186,576.93 for a total collected of $167,390,042.09. Miscellaneous tax certificates, insufficient charge fees, other revenues for a total of $48,932.05, for a total collected for the county tax office in the Hidalgo County, a total of $167,438,974.14. If you hit the tab. Okay. This is pretty much the total revenue dispersed to Hidalgo County was $165,244,746.30 minus the attorney fees, or plus the attorney fees is the total of $167,438,974.14. If you, that's tab number 2, or up here is the recap current tax collections. If you look at the area where it says in the current collections to date, on 2011 through 2012, we collected $147,059,510.44. For the year of 2012 and 2013, $148,463,571.56, a total increase over last year, $1.404 million collected by our office. Last year's percentage of collections was 93.12. This year's 93.18, 0.06 increase. So I'm happy about that. I know that our office, our staff, our chief administrator, managers have worked very hard, and I want to thank the taxpayers for coming in also and being responsible and making our county, as it's growing, we're bringing in more money. So, okay, the next chart, it's a 5-year comparison chart. I'll just go over the percentages. In 2008, we had 90.28, 2009, 90.85, 2010, 91.89, 2011, 93.12, and currently 2012, we're at 93.18. The next page, that's the delinquent report. I won't pretty much go over that one since the delinquent attorneys already went ahead and gave their report. And I would like to also thank Mr. Franz and his staff from Purdue. We worked very closely, so definitely every time that the current year becomes with penalties and interest, they always advise the taxpayer to pay the current year, so that allows us to also collect more, so I want to thank them for that. The next page, a 5-year comparison, I also like to skip that, being that they already gave the report. And pretty much, this concludes my report. First of all, I want to make sure that my staff in our office, from the chief administrator to the manager, the assistant, and also my staff, that they understand that what we're doing for the county is something that provides the services. And without my staff, we won't be able to provide the services. Even though we might need additional staff, we try to do with what we can with the people that we have. And as you can see, $167 million, it's a lot of responsibility to manage and disperse, and also at the same time put in the bank. So my sincere recognition to my staff, and also I want to thank the taxpayers, because they're the ones that made it possible for us to get a paycheck and provide the services to them. So they deserve it too, some better services. So if there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Next.
Valde.
Item 11?
11B?
Oh,
I
B.
think 10B.
Yeah. Under 11B is the presentation of the Motor Vehicle, Road and Bridge, and Regional Mobility Authority and annual collections. I would like to add that this is the first year ever that any presentation for the motor vehicle has been presented to the Commissioner's Court. And I'm excited. There was a time study done pretty much to let you know what's being collected. And I'm going to have, first of all, before we start this presentation, I want to thank the Constable, Mr. Eddie Guerra, and his officers. They're always there every morning trying to assist us with the taxpayers, and I wanted to make sure that he knows that we appreciate that every time. When busy times come around for the tax, Larry Gallardo, at that time it was Chato Alanis, now it's Marty Cantu and Celestino Avila. They're always there to assist us in Prison 1 and make sure that the busiest times when we get a lot of money, that the piece is there. So at this time, I'd like to present my Chief Administrator, Eva Mireles, and I know we have Santos Castillejo, also our manager for motor vehicles, so she's going to be making the presentation.
Hello, good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm going to try to make this as quickly as possible. As Paul was mentioning, as you can see on this picture, before you, this is really on April the 2nd, which is not really considered already one of our time peak seasons throughout the tax office, because normally it ends on January 31st. However, now we have longer lines, longer lobbies, and of course, a problem in parking as far as all the 4 different precincts. County services. We do more than property tax, of course, and we do more than vehicle registrations. As you can see, these are some of the things that we do in our office, from registration renewals to title transfers to disabled person license plates, etc. Overall, our office processes up to 38 different transaction type of services. Before you have here is actually a state report. The number of total transactions processed in our overall offices was over 697,000. With that being said, over $134 million was actually collected just on the motor vehicle division. As Mr. Villarreal just presented, the county annual property tax was over $130 million as well. Out of these $134 million, it is dispersed between the county and the state. Before you have, it's actually over a 10-year comparison chart. In 2001, we had a total of over 327,000 vehicles that were registered in our county. As you can see now, it's grown to over 529,000. What does it consist when you go process a renewal? Okay. This is a fee chart breakdown, and $28 is the breakdown for a title fee. Out of that, 21% goes to the county, 79% goes to the state. On a renewal fee, which is now up to $72, $75, which is the average standard renewal fee, out of that, 14% goes to the RMA, 16% out of that goes to the county, and 70% goes to the state. The revenue of collections. This is a comparison between 2012 and 2011 on just collections that stay within the county and, of course, the RMA. Before you have here is $11,831,000 versus $10,717,000 versus last year, for a difference of over $1 million collected more than the previous year. RMA, we've been collecting this for a total of, I believe, going on 5 years. Within the last 5 years, I think it's averaged out to a little bit over 25 million. Last year, we were at 4,900,000. This year, we're at 5,200,000, which is a difference of 275,000, totaling to 17 million overall that stays within the county and, of course, the special revenue account. A time study was conducted. This time study was done in order to give us an idea as to what were the issues in the motor vehicle department. And of course, 74% of the work we do consists of the processing of renewals. What was the goal in conducting this time study? Well, our goal is to add additional staff to help screen taxpayers that fall into a category that are identifiable scofflaw delinquent taxpayers. Because these taxpayers require additional special handling, they materially impact the ability of the 6 county tax offices to timely process motor vehicle registrations on a daily, monthly, and annual basis. In order to ascertain the prospective additional staff level required, this type of taxpayer, a time study was performed to establish a reliable average of time versus transaction type. This number was then used to calculate the daily man-hours necessary to perform this service. This number will be contrasted to the main office, which has staff that pre-screens the more time-intensive scofflaw delinquent taxpayers. All 5 remote substations with no pre-screening that identify scofflaw delinquent taxpayers with citations can take anywhere up to 15 to 20 minutes to process per window. The purpose. This study presumed that the main tax office is uncommon in its time versus transactions because this office has staff personnel that pre-screen walk-in taxpayers as it relates to the scofflaw. The 5 remote substations do not have this pre-screening process. The data accumulated was put together in order to establish the statistical reliability of the time versus transactions for motor vehicle registration transaction types. Out of the 38 transaction type services performed in the tax office for motor vehicle department, only the vehicle registrations were used to establish the data. And this was because vehicle registrations represent approximately 70% of the total motor vehicle transactions processed through our office. What are the advantages of pre-screening? Checking scofflaw citations as customers walk in helps us identify the reason for their visit. We are able to direct and lead customers to the appropriate collection lines. What are the benefits? We discovered that it decongests crowded offices, it reduces customer wait time, less time in line waiting for service, it's more efficient, it has improved the service experience, more convenience, and more satisfaction levels, and it leaves us free to handle the more complex customer request. Again, the pre-screening was established due to the number of complaints when scofflaw was approved, that even though as much as we tried to educate the taxpayer, the normal routine walking into the motor vehicle department is to get a number and wait in line. A lot of that was happening was that once they would get to the window, after waiting for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, they were being told that they had a citation and unfortunately their renewal would not be sold. So this is when we discovered how can we help and provide better customer service for the taxpayer not to wait an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And we implemented the pre-screening in the Edinburgh main office in Precinct 4, and we have discovered that it has tremendously helped the flow of the office and the customer service. Along with creating the pre-screening, we've also implemented what we call an express lane, which is our web agent lane. So after being pre-screened with no citations and no problems, they were directed to what we call an express lane window, which the average time there will be 5 minutes at the most. The time study in the Edinburgh office. The time study in the Edinburgh office, which again, as I had mentioned, does pre-screen, the average of 5 minutes per transaction with 923 stickers sold on a single days of operation resulted in 10 employees required. However, only 9 are processing renewals. The mission office. The mission office does not pre-screen. The mission office is our second largest operation office. Because there is no pre-screening in this office, the average, and this is being very conservative, the average it took was 8 minutes per transaction with 817 stickers sold on a single day of operation, resulted in 15 employees required and only 11 processing renewals. The Westlaco office, which is our third largest operation office, again, the average, no pre-screening, of 8 minutes per transaction with 568 stickers sold on a single day of operation, resulting in 10 employees required, only 7 processing renewals. The FAR office, no pre-screening. The FAR office averaged 8 minutes per transaction with 518 stickers sold on a single day of operation, resulting in 9 employees required and only 8 processing renewals. Our San Juan office, no pre-screening. Average of 8 minutes per transaction with 298 stickers sold on a single day's operation, resulting in 5 employees required and only 1 processing renewals. Our Alamo office, no pre-screening. Average of 8 minutes per transaction with 152 stickers sold on a single day operation, resulting in 3 employees required and only 1 processing renewals. The breakdown. Our office has a total of 74 employees under the motor vehicle department. However, out of those 74, you have administrators, to your accountants, to your bookkeepers, etc., and only 37 of those process renewals. What did this demonstrate? That we are showing that we would need additional 15 more employees just to be able to process renewals. And next, I'm going to show you, these are some pictures. Again, this is way past January 31st, which is considered one of our busiest time in our office. You'll see before you the wait. This is before we implemented the pre-screening process. The pre-screening was not conducted, and this was the wait normally at the beginning of the month and the end of the month. After customers being here over an hour and 15 minutes, once they would get to the window, a lot of them were being rejected because due to a citation, and of course the complaints of, the customer service was there, so we implemented the pre-screening. The web agent.
Paul, if I may interrupt here, we got 15 minutes before we have to potentially quit the meeting. I don't think we dispute the fact of the waiting time nor the need of employees whatsoever. I think you've had an opportunity to sit with each commissioner and the judge to state your claim. And it's my humble opinion to think that we can possibly move on to your other items. We don't dispute the numbers or the demand. I want to thank you for going back and going this thorough to be able to defend the need. I don't dispute it whatsoever. So I'd like to ask the other court members if they would like to proceed.
I agree also that, you all have done a lot of work and to get us, to understand it. And I understand it because I see it every day there at my office, and I guess we visited, with Paul, and
As you can see,
I know,
as you
it's
can
just.
see on this picture, These are some of the situations where
Yeah,
we have to
appraisal
get
one.
our constables involved because of the traffic,
Right,
and
and-
our constables have to get involved.
Right, and I don't dispute that. I officed out of there and I saw the unsafety issue, so.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that concludes
Hang
our
on.
presentation.
I know we're pressed for time. Who conducts time studies on the,
We did it in our office.
sir?
Go ahead.
We did it in our office, sir, with the state reports.
I've offered in the past that Raul it's a good resource to work with.
Yes. All these numbers are reliable numbers from the state reports.
I'm not doubting the numbers. I'm just saying to have more credibility on a study, that get somebody that knows what they're looking at.
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, we did call somebody, Mr. Mike Braun, pretty much, I think it's like a professor on that assisted us with that. And also, we did visit with Mr. Raul Silguero, which we appreciate. They came to our office, and the study that he made probably came over that we need more employees. So it's consistent with what we're doing. So
Sure.
I know that Mr. Silguero is welcome to meet every time that, and we did it with that purpose of making sure that we're all seeing the need for, better service.
Yeah, I think if anything, that to give better service to our taxpayers, I think that they don't deserve to be out there waiting 2-3 hours, and I've seen it, and I've, been there, so.
Yes. Before, I'd like to add something real brief, because I know we got to go to the next item. But the 8 minutes for transaction, that's after, there's no pre-screen, that's after you've been waiting there for an hour or so. So with this that we're doing now, it's really going to help us. It's going to make us to where the county commissioners and the judge, our taxpayers are going to see that we all want to keep up with the growth, so that's why we need more people. The better service we can provide for them, then they'll be happy and we'll be happy too. So thank you for this presentation.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the other one.
Valdo, what else?
I'm sorry. Okay, now we're at item 11.
Okay, 11A, under the tax office, approval of the following personnel actions. To delete slot 9, computer systems administrator at 49,264, along with the auto allowance of 1,500. To delete slot 24, deputy clerk 2 at 36,020. And to authorize administrative assistant 3, the auto allowance at 1,500. And to create a technician 4, slot 144 at 39,560. To create slot 145, a deputy clerk 1 at $26,014. And to create slot 146, a clerk 1 at $19,710. All with the same monies within their budget.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And item 2 is approval to create the following full-time positions, slot 147 through 152, deputy clerk 2s at $30,342.
Commissioner, there's no funding in place identified for this particular agenda item.
Sergio.
We have Sergio's here.
Again, Judge, Commissioners, I've stated this in the past, depending on Commissioners' court action, I think I've used the term that I'm not putting the...
But the thing, the funding needs to be...
The question becomes, are we in compliance with the policy or not?
No, Commissioner, we would be not in compliance with the policy.
Sure.
Basically, the policy would state that we would hear these types of actions during the annual budget process, not during the course of the year.
And the budget workshop is scheduled for tomorrow?
Scheduled for tomorrow at 1:30 PM, yes, sir, at the old Commissioner's courtroom.
Can I say? The last time I was here, the policy didn't work and they implemented it. I wasn't here and then it worked. So right now...
The question, Paul,
well,
and I apologize if you have a different understanding.
Right.
What I'm asking Valde is, are we in compliance with it?
As the policy stands right now, no, Commissioner, you would not be in compliance.
Then I don't think it would be appropriate to take any action.
Commissioner, with all due respect, we've disregarded the policy in the past based on the demand of the work that there are. And I'm not saying that I'm asking to disregard a policy whatsoever, but I don't think we dispute the need, similar to how it's come in the previous, with several other departments that came in with a request. At the end of the day, we're talking about taxpayers waiting, we're talking about service, we're
Correct.
talking about a need that's been there for quite some time. I would also do challenge you, though, Paul, in the essence of not just filling the need, but looking at the other avenues and the efficiency standpoint on what's being done around the county in regards to collections. And we're willing to work with you on this, whatever research that needs to be done. I've seen that other counties have kiosk as a resource to be able to fast track some of the transactions. But I would challenge you in that way to look on building efficiencies.
Take
But
the
in regards
challenge.
to need, there's no dispute whatsoever.
Right.
But
Commissioner, I'm not disagreeing that the need is there. Simply what I put on before the court is, are we in compliance with our own rules?
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, well, I respect that. I respect that. The only thing is that every time that you need to find some monies for other departments, I always see that you find them. And I'm talking about, and I don't dispute that because, of course, they have the need. The only thing is, when I come over here, there's no money. I just presented a report that I gave you $167 million. We collected $134 million for the motor vehicle. There's road and bridge, there's RMA. So when I come over here, because I want to provide better services for our taxpayers, what I like to say is that if implementing those 6 employees, I'm going to go ahead and put 2 employees on the second busiest office, which is Commissioner Flores, so we can expedite and pre-screen them. The rest, we're going to use them in the other area. Now, I can't wait for the budget for January 1st. The people are at our office. If I could send those people home and tell them, wait until we get, more additional for the scofflaw, at that point.
Thank you. Balde, what's your recommendation? Or you recommend we approve it?
Would it be part of the unforeseen or something that we can?
Commissioners, if you approve the item.
I know what it means to be approved. My question is, what do you recommend to do?
Given our current financial, Commissioner, if you're asking me what my recommendation is, given our current financial situation, I would ask that this not be approved.
Okay.
And that goes, and Mr. Vidal, and I do respect, because we do meet with.
You want me to go ahead and stop scofflaw then? And then until we get I know we collected over $1 million.
What I was going to say.
We don't have to, because I already had 529,000 registrations, and then you piled up another 200,000, so now the customer is not getting the service that they deserve, and now you're telling me that you don't have the money, but whatever you need, if you need money, go to the tax office and we're going to get it. And I understand the decision based of not having any money, but I'm here for the taxpayer.
I disagree. When the court takes action, we don't go to your office to get monies.
We bring it over to you. We send them to the...
You do your job, collect the money, the taxes.
Taxpayers.
Which is what you were elected to do.
Correct.
Then we parcel out the monies in terms of the budget.
Correct, but Commissioner, you just hired so many employees you're always creating. That is good. Now that I want to provide the services, I was going to tell you, if you approve them, if you approve the 6 positions, I want every taxpayer in this county to come over and thank you and the judge for keeping up with the growth. The growth is tremendous. So what we need to do is, the growth is tremendous. Well, what I want to do is provide better services.
Paul, nobody disputes that. Everybody agrees with you on that case.
Right.
The case that we're dealing with, and I can understand Commissioner's argument, is the fact that it did not happen well within our policies, nor within the time frame that we look at these kind of things. That's what they're disputing. I could understand that argument.
I understand that.
That could potentially open Pandora's box for every other department to come in and make the argument, which it already has. But I do agree with you.
And I'll tell you one thing, that my response is respectfully, okay? I'm not mad at you, I'm not mad at anything. The only thing is that I want the taxpayers to know that I'm the new tax assessor and want to provide better services. I started back in '85.
I think we all do, Paul.
We all do.
What I'm suggesting is we have some policies in place that we need to adhere to. And the recommendation from Balde is this would not be in compliance with the existing rules.
I can understand that, but...
Can I make a recommendation, Commissioner?
Sure.
Being the fact that we're on a 3-man board right now, we're missing a judge and another commissioner.
Well, we need a full court too.
And Paul, I know you're kind of laughing right now, but realistically, at the end
I'm like, last time I was here, I come over here on the most important day of our annual collections to give that report, and I can understand everybody has meetings, and I respect that. The only thing is that if we have to bring it back, every week or so, I know that you're saying we're not in compliance, but I definitely like to expedite, those lines. I mean, people are calling us and complaining. We're the ones in the front line. Like, if you go to war, we're the ones in the front line.
I think all of
We
us
get to
in the
compare.
front line, we all deal with the general public. We all have an obligation. We have different duties, but we all have an
I understand,
obligation to
Commissioner,
protect
and I
them.
respect your opinion.
And,
We get 40,000 people per month in our offices, okay? And you know what, the only thing is that, you can get maybe I don't know if you get 10,000 in your office per month, but all I'm just saying is that I want the taxpayer to know that this is what I want to do along with our staff, and I know you want to do the same, but you're saying that it's got to go to policy, but I wanted to make a
Bring
point.
it back next week and we'll act on it if we change policy, if we need to, or
You want to do?
To me, I'm open regardless. I mean,
I don't
whatever
have a problem with it.
Well, I appreciate, you listening, of course.
As a matter of fact,
this-
as a matter of fact, we are looking to working with the city of McAllen
Yeah, I'm looking forward
to
to it too.
open up another location in McAllen.
And I know, and even if you open another office, it's gonna be full. It's like, but it's welcome. I know we sat down on that one, and we're gonna work on it. Of course, we're gonna need people, and if we can get those people, we'll provide more services. And I'm in agreement.
I'm not involved in your staffing. I'm involved in looking at the budget and participating on the decisions that are being made here, because that's my job.
Right.
I got a question for Valda. Your recommendation is to not approve at this point in time. Are you stating that in the very near future, when would you project that we'd be addressing this issue?
At the workshop tomorrow. Right now, I did some quick math. Right now, I think we're looking at prorated, because we're at the end of July. You're looking at $15,000 a month prorated, so you're looking at probably 90 to 95,000, said here, when you include the fringes on a prorated amount.
We're looking at 105,000.
105, okay.
Prorated for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year, August through-
And a $245,000 impact for next fiscal.
For next fiscal year, given, right.
Well, put it on the agenda, let's have it put forward.
Let me ask another question while we're in this discussion. I know that we're collecting for the RMA, yet we're not assessing any fee to the
Correct.
RMA for the collection of the...
Right.
So we need to look at those avenues as well, no different.
Right, that takes a lot of bookkeeping, a lot of accounting, and wire transfers, and I feel that we should have additional bookkeepers and accountants for that RMA. Everything's time consuming, it's a lot of responsibility, so definitely I like to bring that back and see if there's a way where we can help us out through that RMA, and we collected over $25 million. So, I can understand what you're trying to tell me. I was here on behalf of myself and the taxpayers, because they're the ones that are really need that service a little bit better. Mr. Valdez says we don't have the money here right now, and maybe, but I just wanted to let them know that we came over before you to try to get more and create that
I
express
think
lane.
we all do, Paul, and again, if you're speaking to the taxpayers, we represent the taxpayers, and we've got to be conscious of how we spend the money.
Of course, well, this is a good way to provide the services.
No, por eso it's a balance on it.
Well, every time that we add something more on their motor vehicle, they expect better service, and all we do is just delay them in our area. So hopefully we add anything else, maybe we can take some money, create some employees, and maybe we can get them out faster. That's all we're trying to do.
Sure. And the answer may be more staff or simply streamline the procedures to...
Well, the county's growing, so I'm here because I need them. And if you want to go ahead and help us out so we can provide that services better to the county, would appreciate it. If you can't, then that's the vote that's going to be. But respectfully, I'm asking before you, and and then
you make assumptions that we don't want to help people.
No, that's
the impression I get it.
Well, the thing is that
What I'm saying is, you have a duty to do, a responsibility, and we also have our own responsibility.
Well,
Unfortunately, we all share the same taxpayer.
Well, I can just say that, just like I stated, we really need those employees, and hopefully at the time that you're able to allow us to have more employees, that'd be great. Apparently you can't right now, but I still
Is
need
it asking too much to bring it back next week to have a full court take action on it? One way or
Well,
the
I
other?
mean, let's say, for example, I was hoping that you would vote on it today, and if you vote on it,
Well,
if
so
you
do
vote on
I.
it,
So do I. I come to court to meetings on time, and I'm here almost 100% of the time. But sometimes we have vacancies or no shows.
Okay.
And
I know.
it's difficult to act on some items that have an impact on the budget.
Correct. Well, if you
And
take a
that-
vote and if it, for whatever reason,
Commissioner-
it doesn't
Commissioner, if
come
I
out the
can-
way,
Paul-
I'll be back again, but really,
Paul, 1 second. Is it conceivable, Valde, that in our budget this year, that there's an availability or opportunity that we may be able to wash the demand that may come up from approving it? Is there anything objectively that you can see that will wash it in some of the, whether it's sweep or whether it's some area?
The only thing I can think of, Commissioner, is is for us to find, and I'm sure that in a budget right now that is at 160, not 170 is our budget. I'm sure that in a $170 million budget, that there's efficiencies throughout that as a whole. So if the court would allow me and Sergio to look at the rest of the departments as a whole to see if we can find some efficiencies. I know that there's programs that we've implemented. I know that we have found savings when we did the energy efficiency program where the bulbs were changed, the switches were changed so that they're automatic. When there's no one in the area, they shut off. All of that goes towards savings. What that dollar amount amounts to this year, I don't know.
And what's the total for the rest of the year if we were to approve this?
105,000.
105,000. So this is not a question of if, it's a question of when we do this, because at the end of the day, we don't dispute the need. So if it's 105,000, whether finding it from sweep or finding it from somewhere, I'm even willing to contribute on some of our reimbursables to be able to, if it improves the quality of service and the time our taxpayers waiting, I think we have a duty to try to find the demand for the remainder of the year. I don't see where we go through a budget cycle where we
It's
don't
improper for me to make a motion.
I don't know what you're going to move.
No, that's besides the point. Can I legally make a motion?
You can make a motion.
Well, I recommend that we approve the 20 new positions for the tax office.
20, there's six, Commissioner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No. He has established a need, a justification for additional staff. I put it out to the court.
well, definitely, I mean, I can agree with you on that. I know that right now we're asking
I
for
know.
6 because we're conscious of the budget overall. So that's why I'm only asking for 6, but overall, definitely, if we get 20, then we're ready to start working with McAllen office right away. But definitely, it's like, I don't want to put you in a situation where he says, well, let's accept the 20, so like that, see where you're going to find them. I only need 6 right now.
Well, my request is to stick with the 6.
I mean, I'm conscious, you know, and like I said,
Well, I'm saying 20, not being,
I'm with you, Commissioner. I
Well,
appreciate it.
what I'm saying is
Of course.
20, you just double.
Well, I mean, I can see the,
105 to 205.
I can see how the motion is going to, but I don't want to put the budget officers in any shape. I'm saying I only need 6 for right now.
Yeah, but you're willing to put the court on the spot, not the budget office.
Well, I mean, if I was the person,
I
I
don't
would just be.
understand if you're interested in providing service. My motion is to give you 20 new jobs.
That'll be $816,000 fiscal event for next year, $350,000 fiscal event for this year.
Commissioner, are you saying that's an official motion?
Sure.
Are you making an official motion right now?
Yeah, I made a motion. Do I hear a second? Do I hear a second? I guess the motion fails, but like a second.
Commissioner, I'd like to make a motion approval of item number 2, approving the 6 slots that they're requesting alongside with item 3. I also want to commit that if there is a lack of funding in the general budget, that the precinct, through our reimbursables, will come up with the monies that's needed for this. I don't dispute the need. I want to support the tax office. I understand what you're doing. I'm only asking that you go even further and try to build on efficiencies to find a way that the 6 doesn't turn into 20. That's my hope, and I'm willing to gamble on that, in that sense, to say, we're getting a great return. Our human capital is the most important capital that we have at this point in time, so as long as they're doing the job that's needed. But I'm requesting that if you can look at...
Yes, definitely will. I mean, we're going to go ahead and put those people in every office, put Commissioner Flores so we can express lane, get the people out.
Excuse me, I'm not suggesting, you suggesting that this 6 are going to go to...
No. We're gonna put them throughout. We have 6 offices, so we're gonna put, in certain, in every department, we're gonna put at commissioners, the second busiest office, we're gonna put 2 people out there, and then the rest we're gonna distribute them throughout the county.
Or maybe each precinct can contribute from their own budget.
Paul, maybe you can check with other offices also, and I'm gonna second it, but maybe you can check with other offices and stuff, how we can streamline this, so we don't have to go for the 20
Okay.
But I second the motion.
So where's the funding
On the
coming
state.
from, Commissioner, you said?
From Balde
Balde?
Sergio.
Out of pocket, or?
They
You're gonna be able to get the funding, Sergio? Right now, there's no funding in place for this item.
Not in
There's
place,
no funding,
but
we would have to bring an action item next week. to
there's a
fund
fund balance of 7 million, or 17
Yeah, but you
million.
can't get it out of fund balance because it's not an emergency.
We'll make it subject to funding at this point in time, as soon as we...
Again, you can approve the item, but I won't be able to pay the employees.
Subject to funding.
Funding? Okay.
Thank you very much.
There's a motion, a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Item B, for the Constable Precinct 4, approval of the following personnel actions to delete Administrative Assistant 1, slot 18 at $24,087, and to create a Communication Officer, slot 22 at $28,825.
There's a $4,000 difference there. Where's that coming from?
There's no funding in place for that one.
For this fiscal year, there's a $2,406 deficit that will be required. There's no funding for that item, and for 2014, there's $5,659 that will be needed as well. Again, this item, similar to the past one, does not have any funding identified for the increase in the salary.
Joel Rivera, Chief Deputy for Constable Precinct 4. Constable Guerra, since Constable Guerra took office in 2009, this position has been more closely aligned with the job description of a communications officer. We recently had that individual filling that slot resign to retire. As such, Constable Guerra thought it would be a good opportunity to reclassify this position, and that's why he did this despite the auditor's concerns. I can say that position has been vacant for 4 weeks now, which will mitigate some of the $4,000 difference and at least be vacant for at least 2 more weeks, which will nearly cover the cost. And it's for that reason that the constable asked me to come forward.
Move for approval of
There's
B1 and
also
2.
an issue with the policy here, Commissioner.
I'm sorry?
There's also an issue with compliance with the policy.
Policy don't have.
Oh, okay.
So
So get the funding, you be able to get Sergio on this one?
I can wait.
We would need to confirm the statement as far as on the lapse of the vacancy of this position. So we would need to confirm that, and if that's the case, then it would be funded through that. If not, we would need to bring an action item to fund that amount. Right now, we've identified that we still need...
We can approve it subject to funding.
2004.
So I move for approval of B1 and 2, subject to funding.
There's a motion, second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And item C for the Sheriff's Department, approval of the following personnel actions to delete clothing allowance for Sergeant Step 3, slot 38 of 500, and added to the closing allowance to senior deputy 4, slot 89, 500.
Move for approval.
Of 1 and 2?
Second.
1 and 2.
Second.
There's a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
13.
Where's Baldi?
13A.
Valdi's going to present that item.
Renan, what time?
Valdi's going to present that item.
He's going to
Valdi's going to present that item.
Right. Judge Commissioners, item 13 is for IT, but just real quickly, I've been notified that the EDC meeting was postponed and moved to 1 o'clock, so we still have, we have roughly an hour left.
Hope it don't take that long, but.
No, we should be, so for the IT department, again, this is a claim for AT&T long distance. I believe everything has been worked out with the auditor's office, so the request is to process the claim with authority of the county treasurer to issue payment, the payment and check after review, as well as audit and process procedures to be completed by the county auditor's office. The total amount is $206.51.
Move for approval.
What do you mean by it's being worked out with the auditor's office?
Mr. Frasso, I'm saying that there's been communication with respect to IT in your office, and that the issues at hand were discussed.
Okay.
And so the recommended course of action was to come to Commissioner's Court. I apologize for the use of that language. 206.51 for AT&T long distance, and the invoice for the record is 803358989.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
It's a nice
Good morning.
trim tan you got there.
You're back.
Raul Cecine, Planning Administrator, just for those that have forgotten, okay? Good to be back. Great, thank you, Commissioner.
Bright red.
In the interest of time, yes, sir, I got a little bit of sun. Actually, it was sunny in Germany this time, so thank God. We have a preliminary approval of variance request for Los Cielos subdivision, precinct 1. The development has been presented to the advisory board and everything's in order. All the departments have signed off for the preliminary approval. The variance is to allow the escrowing of funds for a typical county road section 2428 versus the required road section there, which is a 48 and a 52. 48, 52. We've seen these type of variances before. There's no existing road east of there all the way to La Blanca Road is a quarter-mile al caliche, and because of the MPO requirements of the right-of-way, that's what governs the type of road that's going to be built there. However, in that area, there's not much development, so we feel comfortable in recommending the 2428 requirement as per all the other county, and everything else is in order for the preliminary approval for this development. So the Subdivision Advisory Board has recommended approval as well.
So. Move for approval.
Second.
Very please, just item 1.
Right.
Item 14A1A, yes.
Yeah.
There's a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
14A2, preliminary approval, 2A and 2B, just for the record, Pueblo de Palmas, that Mount 4 Phase 3 and Martinez Escondidos Phase 1, both have been presented to the advisory board and in the departments, respective departments, and they're requesting preliminary approval, subject to further comments before gaining final approval of Commissioner's Court, and it is in order for preliminary approval for both developments.
Second of A and B.
There's a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item would be final approval of Ninja Ranch subdivision. It's a one-lot subdivision. Again, it has gained all the final approvals from the department, subdivision advisory board. It's also recommended final approval is in order of final.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
North Tower Acre subdivision, final subdivision as well. They have also gained all the approval from the departments. The advisory board has also recommended approval. It's a 3-lot subdivision. Everything's in order of final
Move for
approval.
approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item would be Wisachi Acres number 9 subdivision. Again, they've gained the final approval. Everything's been constructed. Storm sewer, everything's in place, and the advisory board's recommending approval, and our office also recommended approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Inver Real subdivision is a one-lot subdivision. Again, all the departments have signed off on it, and it has gained final approval from the advisory board. Everything's in order for final approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
For the record, next one is the Evergreen Valley Estates Phase 5 subdivision. Everything's in order. All the improvements have been conducted, and the advisory board has also granted final approval. We recommend approval.
Second.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And last on the final approval would be Sunset Valley Phase 2 subdivision. It's 46-lot subdivision. They have constructed everything in order, in accordance with our requirements, and they have gained final approval from the advisory board, and we also recommend final approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Next one is Chunas subdivision. It's a 2-lot subdivision. They have gotten the final approval already from the city, and the advisory board also recommend approval. They've gotten a financial guarantee for the septic tanks, and everything's in order for that. $1,500 cash deposit, so.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And last time would be just the reimbursement of cash deposit in the amount of $1,000 for Los Navillos subdivision. Original amount was $38,000. They've installed 8 to date, leaving a balance of $30,000. Right now, the reimbursement is just for 1. We have the letter from health as well, so everything's in
Move for
order.
approval.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
15, no action.
Welcome back. No action.
No action on 15.
16,
16, Commissioner, you've already taken
We're
action.
done.
precinct 3.
Item 17, Mingo called me earlier and asked that I present this for them. They're asking appropriation of their 2013 funds from Precinct 3 Road and Bridge on reserve fund balance into their Precinct 3 road maintenance. That dollar amount is $98,900, and it's to fund operating expenditures.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 18A, Precinct 4, is the approval of advance funding agreement between TxDOT and the County of Hidalgo for CSJ 2094-01-038, FM 2220 from Mile 5 Road to FM 1924 Railroad Project.
Move for approval.
Second. There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Morning, Commissioners. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 19A, 1 and 2, is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor from the proceeds of the sale of land, the airport property to the city of Edinburgh, and appropriation of those funds and interfund transfer to the TxDOT fund in the amount of $935,539.68.
Move for approval.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Martha Salazar, Purchasing Department. Item 20A, this is presentation of the low bid received and is detailed in the tabulation sheet contained herein. This is for the request for sealed quotes, as we do not exceed the $50,000 threshold, therefore we don't do a published procurement. This is the purchase of straw hats. We had 8 quote packets distributed, 2 submitted. The vendor that we're recommending for award is Khalifa Western Wear.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 2 is presentation of the bids received as detailed in the supporting documentation herein. And this is for the bottled water services. This was a published procurement. There was 4 packets requested, 2 bids received. The vendor recommended is Mountain Glacier.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
20B, this is also for countywide, requesting approval to declare the items listed in Exhibit A as surplus for the sale on auction of August 14th in accordance with 263-152A1.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And and in the event some items are not sold because of no bids received pursuant to 263-151-1 and/or 263-152-A3, we are to proceed to order any of the property to be destroyed or otherwise disposed as of worthless, inasmuch as the sale of said items did not occur for the auction of August the 14th.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Item 3 is requesting authority to publish the advertisement for that auction on August 14th. That includes, but is not limited to, seized, abandoned, and unclaimed property.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
20C has already been done, items 1A and B. Going on to item D, this is for the constables, acceptance of proposed, this is Constable Precinct 1, of the proposal received and awarded through awarded vendor Facility Solution Group. This is through the TCPN co-op contracts for light fixtures of Constable Precinct 1 new building, as received, as reviewed and approved and recommended for award by Raul Cecin, with authority to process requisition when submitted through procurement project. Number.
Approval.
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And 20E, this is Colonia Access Program Precinct 3. This is discussion, consideration, and action on the recommendation by project engineer Javier Hinojosa to award to the lowest bidder meeting all specifications as listed. Texas Concordia Construction, LLC, in the amount of $167,630.15, bid number 192. This is road and drainage construction of Regal Estate subdivision.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
B is Castle Enterprises, LLC, in the amount of $79,724.50 for bid number 191, road and drainage construction for Randolph Barnett subdivision.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 262-031, and in the interest of expediting a project's progress, requesting authority and approval for the precinct commissioner or designee to execute change orders that involve an increase or decrease in cost of $50,000 or less. The original contract price may not be decreased by more than 18% without the consent of the contractor. I will have the commissioner name his designee.
So we don't have a designee at this point?
At this point, no. And he has named Ms. Mona Barras before, but I don't want to venture that that's what he'll do. But I will leave it up to his designation.
Well, subject to.
Designated someone?
Correct.
There's a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
No other business?
Yeah, Commissioners, yes,
Open
there's,
session.
unless we need to go back into executive session, I'd like to go to open session.
We already went to executive.
Is there a motion?
Under open session, 22A, real estate acquisition appropriation, same, there is no action. 22B, pending and or potential litigation, there is no action. Claim of Rosa Nelda Ruiz. Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of a total amount of $4,699.81.
Move for approval.
And Commissioner, with that motion and second, I would ask that it be noted that there would be two checks that'll total that dollar amount. The first check would be to Nelda Ruiz in the amount of $4,429.81 for property damage. Second check would be to Selvino Padilla, attorney at law, in the amount of $270 for a total of $4,699.81.
So that's a motion, right?
$2,700, buddy?
$270 to
$270.
Selvino Padilla.
There's a motion
And a second.
and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Item D, claim of Jesus Cuevas. Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $2,058.24.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say
What's the
aye.
number? 2,000 what?
2,000 what, Balde?
$2,058.24.
$15.
Motion carries.
Oh, item E, claim of Aurora Alvarez and Joel Alvarez I'm asking settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $1,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Item F is a claim of County of Hidalgo versus Terry L. Hooper. Commissioners, I'd like authority for the court to entertain a release and settlement agreement as well as a promissory note in the amount of $1,288.83 with monthly payments consisting of $128.88 for 10 months in resolving this claim.
Move for approval.
Second.
There's a motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And item G, our last item, is claim of County of Hidalgo versus Enrique Trevino in the amount of $778. Again, Commissioners, I'd like the court to entertain a promissory note and a release and settlement agreement with monthly payments in the amount of $389 for 2 months, totaling the $778 in settlement of this claim against Enrique Trevino.
Move for approval.
There's motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
There are no further items.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
There's motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Opposed,